And you're listening to WNYO on 88.9 FM, Oswego, New York. This is Laker Radio, your music, your way. This is Will's Fantasy Hour, and I'm your host, DJ William. Welcome back, everybody, to what I hope to be another fantastic show. And with me in the studio, as per usual, I have Paul Emerald.
Sup?
And Thomas Beck.
Yo.
So, I know that we have a show right now, so it makes no sense to play the promo, but Tom was not here when I played the promo for last week, so I figure I would let him in on some of this amazing stuff right now.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
Thank you.
I really like it.
I'm very proud of the quality of the thing, and, you know.
It's the best feeling when you make something that good, and
I know, I was sitting there for a while, and I'm like, the music syncs up right, the voice impression is good.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
It is a good feeling.
Absolutely.
It is indeed good.
Thank you, Paul. So, now that I've finished patting myself on the back sufficiently, let's get right into it for today's show. So, it's time to bring back a segment that I did a couple months ago, and this time make it a little more personal. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rustle My Jimmy's time.
Is that rustling in the bush?
Rustle, rustle, rustle.
That really rustled my jimmies.
Woo!
Yeet.
All right.
You really killed that.
Yeah. Okay. So
I was born to kill.
Okay. So.
Okay, let's ignore all what Paul said for 5 seconds.
No, it's good. Like,
Fair
you were totally born to kill, Paul. I can see it in your eyes. I just need to find a way to reach that zenith of anger first.
Ooh.
And then we'll get right into it. Ready? Okay, let's do this.
He's pumping himself up, folks.
I call upon the power of water levels, bad internet connections, crummy escort quests.
Did he say water levels? Oh, water levels. Oh, I just realized what he
shooters,
meant. I thought
where they don't give you everything that they need.
As it doesn't play.
Wait,
that seems something to rage about. That's something 100% to rage about.
False start. Okay, I flooded it. It's like flooding a car. You put too much into it, and it's gonna... All right, one more try. Yeah, there we go. That's better.
He's gone Super Saiyan in the studio. His hair's turned blonde.
Yeah. Oh, this is what this feels like. Oh, it feels like hugs. Oh, no wonder they do
Hugs.
this all the time. It's awesome.
I did not know being surrounded by flame was the same as being hugged.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is warm.
It is.
They are both warm.
They are both warm, but one,
in a different way.
Yeah.
like, let's face it, one keeps you warm for a little bit of your social life, other one keeps you warm for the rest of your life.
Yes. But in this case, it's warm like, oh, I feel good now. You're dead.
Okay.
That was definitely a change of tone.
All right. And let's get into it. All right.
All right.
This is Rustle My Jimmy's video game edition. It's about to get personal up in here. Let's do this. All right. You know what rustles my Jimmy's, boys?
What?
When you play a game on a harder difficulty and you get nothing for it.
God.
I agree.
Even in games where it totally makes sense, like RPGs. I'm talking about you, Elder Scrolls and Hyperdimension Neptunia. I'm playing your game on harder difficulty because I expect to be treated like, oh, you're better at this game. We're going to give you more stuff to work with. No.
They give you more XP is what I think, but that's
But is that really much?
It's not. It's not enough.
Exactly.
I want to
agree.
level up faster. I don't mind a little more XP as long as it's a good amount. Because if I play on harder, I get more XP, and that means I get to level up faster,
Get
and
more stuff
that means
faster.
I can do new skills and stuff that'll save me from 40 plus hours of grinding, which I don't want. I don't want that.
But most of the time, it's not even sufficient enough, you know?
It's not.
It really isn't.
It's not. All right. You know what else rustles my jimmies?
What?
Kingdom Hearts. Everything about Kingdom Hearts, the more I look at it, the angrier I get. I hate it so much. And I could talk about literally everything about it, but it would confuse people so much. So I'm just going to talk about the thing that makes me the most upset ever, which is the treatment of the protagonist. When you're playing a video game, you're like, I'm the protagonist. I may not be the most important person in the world, except I am, but I expect to be treated with a little bit of decency and a little bit of respect. Sora don't get no respect. None at all. Literally every time he's around, someone tells him how much of a little wimpy child he is and how he's not doing all of the important things. He's like, he's not a real Keyblade Master. Friend, I just saved your entire world from a shadowy organization who was attempting to rip apart the fabric of reality Twice.
I don't believe you.
I also, this kind of reminds me of like this one like Rooster Teeth like podcast where they're talking about like Mass Effect 3 and like how there's like that new like character that like is like ridiculously muscular that's like Jersey Shore incarnate.
Ooh,
and he's
jeez.
acting like he doesn't even know you. And he's like, "Hi, how are you enjoying your galaxy?" That I saved you twice, by the way. I died for you, literally.
Exactly. And meanwhile, Master Wizard Yen Sid, which is Disney backwards, which at first I was like, oh, that's cool, but now I'm like, that's stupid. That's stupid. Is like, Sora, you're not ready, and also you stink. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was the one who had the weapon which seals away the dark masters of the universe. What do you have? Your pointy hat and your stupid beard and your magic? Have you gotten up from that chair in 60 plus years? I don't think so, you elderly old fart. So shut up.
It's a comfy chair.
It's not even. It's wood. It's made of wood.
It's made masterfully to ensure a very ergonomical stance.
I don't care. All right. You know what else rustles my jimmies, boys?
What?
Inform me.
Microtransaction systems. It's been a long time, and honestly,
Boy, you're right. I hate those things.
it's like domestic abuse. At this point, we become numb to it when we really shouldn't be.
It's my fault for leaving the bucket out.
The more it happens, the more it will take away again and again and again, and I don't know.
I mean, it's not so bad when they don't force it upon you.
No, definitely.
When they're like shoving it in your face. Like, hey, get this and your experience will be so much better. You'll level up faster, you'll do this and that, or you'll just look better. Fortnite, for example. That's literally the like Narnia
Probably one of my
of
favorite
microtransactions.
Fortnite, I will give you, I don't like it. I don't like
it
buying
either.
the skins. But I will admit, I would be lying if I never said that I never played a game where I wanted to buy cosmetics purely for the sake of cosmetics.
Oh,
Except
yeah, no, I have as well.
I have spent a lot of money on League of Legends. I don't know how much. I stopped playing it a while ago, and I still feel bad because I put money and time into it that I'm never going to get back again. But before they introduced their crafting system, which is a whole nother kettle of fish, I spend money because I'm like, I like the way this character looks in this costume, and also it changes the color and effects of their fireballs. That's fine.
Yeah. I
But-
literally just bought a Sims 4 DLC today. The one that gives you pets.
We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, no.
Give me 4 minutes,
Oh, no.
and we'll get there.
That's a good game. I just made my cute little dog.
All right, let's move on. You know what else I don't like, boys?
Inform me.
There are very few ways to check proper hardware on PCs nowadays. And I know you're saying, that doesn't sound very angering. It is, because I can look at my computer specifics and say, oh, I run a GeoForce GTX 39830. What do these numbers mean? Nothing explains what exactly they are. You Google them and it's like, oh, it's an Intel Core processor, which, what's that? And you Google Intel Core
I
processor.
wish I knew all these terms before.
It's how to build a gaming PC and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly,
ridiculous. Like,
exactly.
it's like, oh, your thing's not liquid cooled? What? You can cool computers with liquid? I thought liquid was bad for computers.
You're playing with God, I think. If you liquid cool a PC, you're playing with God.
Like, you pretty much take the shiny rock that isn't a computer, or at least the thing that makes the computer, and just go like, oh, I'm gonna have it water. Cause, having something that heats up at least the temperature of the sun inside your computer is a thing you should have. I don't know what possessed humanity to create that sort of thing.
I don't know. Whoever did this is playing with fire, and I
playing
will.
with fire with water.
Yes, it infuriates me. Okay, let's talk about something else I really don't like: Smash Brother clones. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't play a lot of Super Smash Brothers because it feels weird to me and I don't put in the correct amount of time I need to develop my skills with the game. Recently I did. My brother got a copy of Smash Ultimate and I played the heck out of World of Light and I'm having fun, except for the spirit battles where it's like, you need to be this arbitrary power level because we're making things arbitrarily strong.
I have Smash Ultimate as well. That's like, you always have to counter it with like the specific like attack, defense, or grapple.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. But you know what else? I feel like you can't clone it. People have tried for many years, and it doesn't work.
True.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale was terrible. There's so many ones out there that are like Smash Brothers, but it's like
there's
we're not.
nothing like nothing that comes to the same standard as Smash Brothers,
No.
because they've made a name for themselves. They are like the the pedestal you want to be on top of that you just can't get to.
You can put differentiations on the formula. That's
Yeah,
fine.
of course.
But if you expect to raise yourself to the same heights, or think by making a quirky cast of characters, making the fundamentals the same, that we're gonna buy your game, you're delusional. You're not Nintendo. You don't know how to balance your game properly. You don't know how to create it so that everything is viable and fun. It's not possible. Give up on your dreams.
There's actually this one there's one YouTuber I watch, Video Game Donkey. We actually played like one of the Smash Bros clones. Where in it, there's a move that you can just break. Like it literally, the punch becomes atomic. It breaks the game.
Incredible. Amazing. All right.
Taking Final Smashes to a new level.
Yes.
Quite indeed. Okay, next up, let's talk about DLC that's the worst.
Horse armor.
Worst. No, horse armor looks tame in comparison to this. Selling you arbitrary stuff is whatever. People still buy watches that are expensive when it's like, I don't want your watch with the diamond encrusted bezel. I want to know what time it is. Okay.
What I was just talking about with the Sims 4 DLC, like, it might not change the dynamic all that much depending on the DLC. The one I have completely changes the dynamic. So that's like, I can understand that.
Oh,
so
no,
like
no, no.
something that barely changes it, you know?
Okay.
So now instead
no.
of playing God with only humans, you're
You
playing
can play
it with
God with dogs
animals.
and cats and humans.
Okay, let's talk about your Sims 4 DLC, which, by the way, there's a lot of DLC for the Sims 4. You want to know how much DLC there is for the Sims 4?
How
I don't
much?
actually know
There's
how
a
much right
pet
now.
accessories pack.
Yeah, I got
There's
that one.
DLC for your DLC, Thomas.
I have that one.
Do you realize what you've done?
Uh-huh.
Well, as
I
long
don't care, okay?
All right.
It was a good deal. I got a bundle, 3 different things for like not even $60.
Best deal.
All right, fine, okay.
But The Sims 3 has so much more expansions. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I only played The Sims 3 on console and not even that long.
Well, The
because
Sims 3 has
I
so
thought
many more
maybe I
expansions.
don't like The Sims as much as I thought I did. Whatever. All right. How about games that lock important things behind DLC?
Oh, God.
Prince Goro and Mortal Kombat.
That makes me so
10.
angry.
That maybe. What about Asura's Wrath, where the last 3 chapters of the game were locked behind DLC with, I don't know, important story elements and the main character literally sacrificing his life so that all of humanity can live outside of the tyranny of gods?
How about Star Wars Battlefront, where certain worlds are locked because of DLC?
That's also very bad.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, microtransactions. We want, I just love what EA said. We want people to feel, they've earned it or something.
They have not earned it at all.
EA's the worst.
When they earn it, they get it for free by doing some sort of like out of this world thing in the game. When you get it like that, when you buy it like that, you're just spoiled.
Yeah. How about The Evil Within 1, where it's a game made by Konami where it's totally confusing. You have no idea what's going on. There's a shadowy organization and your partner's working for it, but you don't know that if you don't buy the DLC.
So this is Resident Evil?
No, it's The Evil Within. It's different, but it's not.
Jeez.
Yeah, I actually remember this one, like, reviewer, like, he reviews video games, like, very cynically, I'll admit.
Is
like,
it Jim Sterling?
No, it is, Yahtzee, from I think it's like The Escapist.
Or
Oh.
The Escapist.
Oh, I like The
yeah.
Escapist, yeah.
Yeah.
But like in it, like
Zero
he-
punctuation?
Yeah, zero punctuation. Yeah. But like my favorite thing about him is that he just like he was like, wait a second, I remember that voice. Resident Evil 2, is that you? it's like yeah. Ever since Konami left, it's not exactly that great.
Yeah. Broken Steel for Fallout 3, the thing where they won't let you not die to save the world, even though you're gonna turn on the nuclear reactor and poison yourself from nuclear poisoning. Except you have, I don't know, the 12-foot super mutant who's completely immune to poison and radiation, but he's like, nah bro, this is your destiny to totally die for all of our sakes, so you go do it. And even then, even if you choose to do it at the end, it's like, you're fine now. You don't know that unless you get the Broken Steel DLC.
Yeah, the Broken Steel DLC is straight like, okay, you're fine. You wake up in the hospital. You had a headache. In that case, that makes your character even more bad, more BA if you ask me, because he's like, oh.
You could say that word.
Yeah, no.
I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't fall
I'm
under the
being
word.
safe.
Yeah.
Child friendly.
Child
Okay.
friendly, yes. Kid friendly.
Even though we're past Safe Harbor Hour. Technically.
Technically, yes, but kid friendly.
Yeah.
Destiny the Taken King. Oh, guys, you know about Destiny the Taken King? The thing that supposedly fixed Destiny
Oh, boy.
because it made it have an actually okay story. But you know what else it did? Locked off all of its content for people who didn't buy the DLC.
That sounds lame.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then there's just, how about BioShock Infinite? This one's a little less severe. Have you played BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea episodes 1 and 2?
I've not played Buried at Sea. I've played BioShock Infinite, the vanilla game, which is amazing upon itself.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite is an amazing game. And I'll admit, Burial at Sea, really good DLC. You're in Rapture again, and it's before the collapse of the entire society, so stuff is like bright and shiny, and people are alive, and not all of them are trying to kill you. Wow, this is a beautiful change of pace. I love it when people aren't homicidal to me for once. But you know what else it reveals?
What?
BioShock Infinite, Burial at Sea, reveals why the first protagonist, Jack K. Mann, or the clone of whatever, was on that plane going to Rapture in the first place.
Would you kindly explain?
Exactly. It's the origin of Would You Kindly. You get to play as Elizabeth. You get to feel there's a finality to it. And with the last DLC in the series, it sets up basically as a prequel to the first game. And I felt connected. Honestly, I loved it a lot, which sucks why it's DLC. And then there's just absolutely exorbitant wastes of time and absolute horribleness.
Of course.
Quick question. How do you feel about the DLC, like, not really DLC games, like Far Cry Blood Dragon?
Oh, that's fine.
Fair enough. All right.
It's basically Far Cry 3, the base game, which is fine, and it adds a cool 80s aesthetic, and there's lasers and dragons and stuff. There's more new stuff to make it interesting, and I can get behind that.
Understandable.
I will not stand for exorbitant DLCs that just adds costumes and things to make things more interesting. I'm looking at you, Resident Evil 5, 6, Biohazard, Operation Raccoon City 1 and 2. Where it's costumes and it's weapons. Stuff that you don't need in the main game.
Weren't Operation Raccoon City's like huge dumpster fires?
Oh. Yeah.
So they decided to give DLC to a dumpster fire.
Oh, they always give DLC to dumpster
That's
fires.
like throwing
Haven't you
gasoline
paid attention to the AAA gaming industry recently?
I guess I haven't, considering the fact that the last AAA video game I was Red Dead Redemption 1 on the Xbox 360, and I just stopped.
Ah, fair enough.
It's like throwing gasoline at an actual dumpster fire. That's what that is.
How about Dead or Alive 6 that came out recently, where there's $70 in costume DLC for characters. Or you can go through their grinding system, which is basically, hey, here's one sleeve for an outfit for this character who you don't play.
One sleeve.
Yeah. Where
Just like they give you the one like part of the costume.
Yeah.
Every so often.
They don't. And that goes for a lot of Japanese games out there. I'm looking at you, the one where they're all ninjas and they're also high school girls and there's like a slider for costumes and also boobs.
I like
The one where, and it's not even a slider.
Excuse me, sir. You just declared every single game in Japan.
Oh, no. I forget what it's exactly called. But there's ninjas. There's one where it's the same ninjas, but they're fighting with water guns, and it's like the beach episode of anime, the video game.
Oh my gosh.
It has a breast slider for characters where it's defined by comparable sizes. Not even like the traditional sizes. We're talking like comparing it to fruit. With one of the biggest options being watermelon.
Of course.
So, I'm actually, that sounds weird, but I'm actually curious. Like, do they put like the fruit on plates and it's like, hey, what size do you want? Like first they have apples, then they have oranges, then they continue going on to watermelons.
Exactly. That's exactly how it is.
Wow.
Honestly,
that
that's
makes
more,
a lot of sense for a game like that.
That's actually more creative than that.
It's creative, yeah, but
Yeah.
of course, why the heck not?
Metal Gear Survive, where you ask people to pay for save slots, the thing that's been free for literally ever, but Konami had to stick its pinky toe and mess with the brew, because Konami is the worst.
Oh.
Oh, and of course, Train Simulator. Train Simulator. I know, Train Simulator. Like, oh, it's about driving trains. That doesn't sound too bad. You want to know how much DLC is in this game?
How much?
$8,000 worth of DLC for trains.
Is that 8,000 trains?
It's basically
What kind of like, is it like train cars?
It's all trains. It's different brands of trains.
How many brands of trains are there in this world?
Apparently a lot.
That's
more-
a small market compared to cars. How?
I don't know. And you know what? I don't really care because I'm never going to play a train
I
simulator
would
game
never.
because it's like I don't want to drive a train. If I want to drive a train, I'm just going to go play Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks.
Literally, if you're driving a train, it's not even like you can choose where to go. Well, you can choose where to go, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But like you're set along a path that is fixed.
Yes.
Like that's different than other transportation.
Yeah.
That's boring.
The only reason
can't take that.
I will say I will play Spirit Tracks is because it's a Zelda game,
Of course,
which means
yeah.
that the scenery is nice, the music is nice and peppy.
I
You
like
got
the
Ghost
graphics.
Zelda
Yeah.
following you
I
around.
like the artwork a lot as
She's
well.
a ghost now, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
because
Spooky.
she got murked in the beginning of the game, which is savage.
Mm.
And also, they put a cannon on your train to fight enemy trains, which I
yes.
kind of love that. Who wouldn't want to put a cannon on a train? That's beautiful.
I believe the Germans
Weaponized
enjoyed
train.
putting cannons on trains during World War One.
Yeah, they tried making like huge.
Uber tanks,
No, stop.
Uber yash. we shall now
I don't even know what
militarize
you're saying. I don't
everything.
even know
Yeah,
if it's German words at this point.
probably not. Anyway,
All right, let's talk more. You know what else bothers me, boys?
what?
Just general games where you can look at them. There's a bunch that I could think of in this category, but they fall into the category of you're boring and your mini games are crap.
Okay.
All right.
All
Hit
right.
us.
The main examples I could think of, number one, Rage. It's fine. I played it because I'm like, oh, Rage 2 is coming out. I wonder how Rage is. It's mediocre at best, and it's filled with mini games that are terrible.
All right.
Like,
fair enough.
seriously. Fable and Fable 2. Fable number 1, oh my god. I thought, people told me that this was like a good fantasy RPG game. It's not. It's really not. There's some elements of it that I really like. I like the good and evil system where it's moderately more evil. I like the fact that you can choose between what you want to do. But, oh my god, the plot in this game is near non-existent, and it literally doesn't kick in until halfway into the game.
Are you referring to the Fable 1 or 2, or just
Fable 1.
because I know that Fable 3 was kind of disappointing with the end.
Yes, Fable 1 is bad. I'm talking about the original Fable, where I was halfway through the game, and I'm like, I'm just doing random missions, killing monsters, and earning gold. Where's the story in this? And then it's like, congratulations, you've been asked to complete in the mercenary arena for prize and money and gold and whatever. And I'm like, all right, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
And then we get to the arena, and it's like, welcome. And it's being overseen by the number one mercenary in all the lands, the Jack of Hearts. And you look at him, and he's wearing a red cape, and he's got a mask with one eye covered, and he's got gruff. And I'm like, oh, you're evil. You're super evil, aren't you? Like, you could not make it more obvious that you're the bad guy, and by the end of this game, I'm gonna have your head in my hands.
Oof.
And you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Which
Didn't let you down.
is just such a boring game. Fable 2 is the same way, where it sets you up from the beginning. Like, I can see that they made improvements. I will admit, they made improvements to the design and the combat. But they won't give you a mini-map. You have to open up a menu to do that, and I find that really annoying, because the first one had a mini-map, and that was fine. But also, they set it up from literally beginning as, you need to do one thing. You go try and do the thing. You're stopped. Now you have to do 3 separate things to do this one thing. And then that cycle will repeat throughout literally the entire game.
Jeez.
Yes.
Then Fable 3 was just, hey, do this thing. Now do more
I
thing.
never
More
even-
more thing.
I
Stack more things
never
on top.
even
Now
played.
now the ending, make some multiple choice questions.
I never even played Fable 3. I couldn't get through 2. And I didn't feel like I was going to play 3. All right. You know what else pisses me off?
What?
Card games in games that aren't supposed to house card games. Now,
Are you dissing on Gwent?
No, I won't. Look, I won't diss on Gwen. I don't like Gwen. But apparently it's popular enough because it's got an individual card game. Did you know that Rage had its own card game in there? Where it's literally just things that you've encountered slapped onto cards with arbitrary effects and such. And I'm like, this doesn't fit, and also it's boring, and also you're making me pay money to buy these
Oh
cards.
God.
Lame.
Final Fantasy VIII had a capture card game. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
Well, it did, and it was boring.
Are you going to diss on Caravan from Fallout New Vegas?
Is that an actual card game?
In the game, yes.
I will diss on all the card games in Fallout New Vegas, specifically because I'm not good at gambling.
Dude, you don't need to be good at gambling in real life. You just need to increase your luck by set up your luck by 10. Walk into New Vegas and just take all of the money, and then get kicked out of all the casinos because you took all the money.
Well, look,
He's got all the money.
I will not do that because if you increase your luck to 10, congratulations, all your stats are garbage.
Woo!
You're not good at carrying things or fighting or guns or anything.
Well, I mean, that's the trade-off. Why would you make a commitment to that?
You wouldn't. You would
Exactly.
never want to do that. Oh, there's other games. The Pokemon card game.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh card games.
I mean, the Pokemon card game existed, I'm pretty sure, before the video games, right?
right.
Yeah.
90% of all Yu-Gi-Oh card games that are in digital forms are bad. Ones for the Game Boy Advanced, awful. The ones for the DS, slightly better.
I didn't even know they made, like, digital versions of them.
They do make
But
digital
that-
versions of them because they make you fight NPCs who are computers, which means they can cheat. Probably,
Yeah.
it feels like they're cheating all the
Bakugan
time.
had a game like that as well. Yeah, Bakugan.
Yeah, Bakugan's not a card game.
Well, I mean,
Would you
cards on
define
the-
Bakugan as a card game?
Cards with the magnetic thing on them that you just roll the... Yeah, a little, like, I guess technically.
Yo, man, what about
Because
that
the cards have
Beyblade
stats
card
on
game?
the cards have stats on them anyway, so I mean...
Right. Okay. You know what else I hate?
What?
Suicider enemies. Who
Yeah.
Thomas, you're looking at me like, wait, what did he just say?
No, I heard you, but...
Enemies that walk up to you and then explode.
Yeah.
Because they're so insane or so devoted to their cause that it's like, I'm gonna die and I'm taking you with me.
I think the basic one you can think of is, like, a creeper from Minecraft.
You can think of a creeper from Minecraft, yes.
Psychos from
course.
Gears of War.
Yeah. Suiciding psychos from Borderlands 2.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
exploders from Rainbow Six Siege. You've got a ton of different examples that it's like explode, which is the last middle finger to you as an adventurer.
Yeah.
And also, if you really want to think about it,
What
it's
about
annoying.
Martyrdom?
What?
Martyrdom from Call of Duty. Like, it's one of, like, the original perks you get.
Oh, yeah.
You drop a live grenade when killed.
It's also for being an absolute jerk.
And going back to Pokemon, there's explosion, self-destruct, or two different
Yeah,
moves.
explosion, self-destruct, all of that. Okay. And all of it. I hate all of it because it just spits in the face of everybody who's like, why have strategy when I can literally just blow up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the,
Next,
it's an easy way to do
I
it.
hate, gaming headsets, but also specifically headsets where, you guys see your headsets right now? You see this little strip right
Yeah.
here? The thing
Yes.
that extends, makes that? I hate the headsets where it's like a strip of cloth and wires. You know the ones I'm talking about?
No,
I think
actually.
so.
You ever been in the computer lounge, or in the editing software studio for Lanigan?
No, I haven't.
No.
You see those headphones that they got in there?
Well, I said I've never been in
I've
there.
never been there, but maybe I don't think they're not. I haven't seen them, so I don't know what they are.
It's a leather strap and some wire. It is so visually unappealing. I can't slide it down to put the ears over my big head, and it's uncomfortable and it's terrible.
I hate the ones that have one ear only.
Oh.
Like the one headphone on one ear, and then the other's just like it goes on top of your ear. I hate those as well.
That's
It makes me
awful.
uncomfortable because I can hear things going on in real life as if I want to listen to anything that's happening in real life. I'm immersed in this game and I do not want to hear a single thing.
All right. You know what else I don't like?
What?
Imagine that you're playing when you're playing a stealth game and you're sneaking around all stealthily
Hitman.
and it gives you the option of, well, you can murder this guy or you could put him in a comfortable sleeper hole.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just
That's what
put him in a
Hitman
cabinet
is.
somewhere and they give you more points for that. I don't like it. Because why are you discouraging me from killing people? I could totally understand it's something like Hitman Agent 47, where it's like you're a contract assassin and killing
Can't
random
actually
people.
have people like bodies lying on the ground and
Yeah,
whatnot.
killing random people is bad for business.
So I assume your main gripe is with Dishonored.
No, Dishonored, I will also give a slight pass to because it's rats eating people, making more rats that eat more people. That's fine. It fits within the world. It fits that there's this terrible plague of supernatural origins that are making people sick and dying. That's fine. I will totally agree with that. However, I do think that there's an ability in that game that allows you that when you kill people, you turn them to ash, and that should not count towards your evil alignment for killing people, but it does, and I don't like it.
Honestly, I kind of agree. The second they turn to dust, that should just be like,
Rats can't eat dust.
I'm not saying like there shouldn't be no negative effects because you're still killing a man that could prevent people from getting sick.
Yeah,
Slightly,
but it only works on stealth assassinations, which means that if you're a dumb person and you get caught and people are shooting at you, then you're just as susceptible to kill them and leave bodies.
Very true.
And there's a bunch of games that it's like, you did not you murdered everybody, you're getting less points. Splinter Cell does that. And I don't know why, because it's like, oh, I'm a pacifist and I'm not actually murdering anybody. Cool. If someone sees them, they're going to wake them up and they're going to shoot you twice as hard. That's not fun.
I think Metal Gear also does that too, or at least has like a hidden thing, especially for like the new one, Phantom Pain, with demon points and angel points.
Right. And also a horn grows out of your head, which is, I want to say it's cool, but that's stupid. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid because I get the idea of like, you have a piece of fragmentation in your forehead. Like that, I can be like, okay, chill. Maybe make it more infected the more evil I am instead of making it bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of something that I thought of. I don't like the game Forged in Fire or Blade in Fire.
Okay.
Bound by Flame.
Bound by Flame.
Oh, it's an Xbox 360 game that's very hard. It's so freaking hard. You want to know how hard this is?
How?
It's kind of, I don't want to say Dark Souls, because it's not Dark Souls. It doesn't ask you to parry and things and such, but I died multiple times on the first area of the game, because it expects you to go up against a really big boss right away. And you have no training, and you have one big sword that's like, it's slow. And also, they give you multiple points in the game where you have to choose between letting this demon enter your body and give you supernatural demon powers, or being a human and rejecting its power. And so that makes me want to play through it twice. But I don't want to play through it twice because I didn't like playing through it once. And also, if you let the demon into your body too much, you start growing horns and you can't wear a helmet.
Oh, no.
That sounds really gripey, but you know what? If I can't wear a helmet, it throws off my entire set of armor. My outfit is ruined, and I don't like it.
The first world problems right there.
First problem. It's like, I'm sick and tired of this demon possess me. What's your problem with my possessions? You keep on making horns go on me. You're ruining my outfit, man. It's like, your outfit? Yes, my outfit. It's very important to me.
It is. And also, the demonic powers, not that great. In fact, they make you weak to cold. And you know what? It's called Bound by Flame because the entire world is freezing over. So more than half of what you come across is things that use cold.
I see.
It's not that great. Okay.
It got a 53 on Metacritic.
It did. It's not that good. And also there's romantic interests, and some that you can only romance if you're evil, and some that you can only romance if you're good, and all of them are achievements, and I'm like, oh good!
Hey,
now I
come
have to
on.
repeat through this game 4 times!
Why can't you be a bad boy for the good girl? Come on.
And what? I have to
I
play
hate
through
your
the
TikTok
evil, I have to
reference
play
so
through
much.
it good,
No,
I have
shut
to play
up.
through it as...
That's not where I meant to go with that.
Once is a
Fair
good
enough.
guy, one is a bad guy, one is a good girl, one is an evil girl. It's too much.
Are there any neutrals?
No. There's 4 love interests for the gender and alignment combo.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably
no.
one of my-
Yeah.
Why can't you have more variety?
That's why I enjoy Fallout games. They're very like, oh yeah, this is just neutral relation, like especially like Butch, like from Fallout 3. Like him, it was just like, you had to be neutral. And he's like, yeah, I'll follow you around, turtle snakes rule and all. And then like, it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, just be like, yeah, I'll follow you, you're pretty chill. That like being
You
evil.
want some of this tunnel snake?
Hence the name, but you know, turtle snakes rule.
Yeah. All right.
Goddamn.
What else makes me upset? Spider-Man on PS4. Now both look at me like, what's wrong with him? I love
Okay.
Spider-Man. I like the PS4. I like Spider-Man on PS4. I think it's a really cool game. Yuri Lowenthal voices Spider-Man. He's like my favorite voice actor, or at least top 3, right behind Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and probably some other people. But you know what? Spider-Man's web shooters are too small. And I know what you're thinking to yourself. That sounds like a really
Size does not matter.
That sounds like a really stupid gripe. But
Yeah.
let me explain something about it. His web shooters, you know what they look like? You ever go fishing?
Of course,
yes.
yeah.
You know the little, like, spinny system?
Yeah.
It's that. It's the size of that. It's basically the size of a Nintendo Switch controller. It's too small, and
It
it
is
holds
way too
all that
small.
web fluid.
How?
It doesn't. I don't know how, and that's why I'm upset.
Physics, right?
Physics, I guess.
I-
It's like, I'm a scientist, I know these things, and I'm like,
I'm a scientist myself.
cool.
Sorry.
All right, next. We haven't had a Sonic game since 2017's Sonic Forces. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, but aren't Sonic games terrible? Yeah, they are. And I want to see a new dumpster fire.
Oh, great.
And it's like, oh, but William, we're getting Team Sonic Racing in 2019. That is
Oh,
not the
jeez,
same.
Another one?
It's not the same.
Another Sonic
Why?
Racing game?
I don't know why, but it's not the same. I don't like it.
I had the Wii U
They are
Sonic...
just Mario Kart ripoffs with
Yeah, no.
Sonic instead.
I had the Wii U Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, whatever. And honestly, I was really, really heavily unamused. Because it was a Mario Kart 8 ripoff.
Exactly.
And they had cars that turned into boats and planes. Cars in Mario Kart have propellers that grow on the back so you can go underwater, and they have gliders so you can fly. It's the same thing, pretty much. That got me so angry. Like, that's not even nearly the same thing as a Sonic game. And not even, like, they don't even have that good of a quality in general.
Right. All right. Just a couple more, and then we're done. Let's get to the most serious one of them all. All right, guys, are you familiar with the concept of games as a live service?
Excuse me, what?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, all right. Let me educate you on the news, boys and girls. For those of you who don't know, games as a live service. Basically, you know how in the past, let's use a metaphor for a second. In the past, if you wanted to buy a video game, you'd say, hey, can I get a bucket of water? And they're like, sure, here's your bucket of water. That will be $60. We'll put some more water in that bucket in the future for a couple $20, $30. Or we could throw in these cool watercolor tablets in there and make it totally different for another $30. And it's like, cool, I will maybe look into that further down the road. See you later. Nowadays, games as a live service, what it is basically saying, I would like a bucket of water, and they hand you a moist bucket.
Oh.
You were expecting
Okay.
a bucket full of water, but instead, you got a bucket full of moisture. You're like, excuse me,
yeah.
this bucket full of water seems pretty darn empty to
Yeah,
me.
I understand that,
And
yeah.
now, they're saying, oh, no, don't worry about that. We've got a plan. We've got a roadmap for the future. Stay with us for a year, and we're going to gradually start filling that bucket with different types of liquid. It's not necessarily water, but it's close enough.
I see.
yeah.
You must be referring to your No Man's Sky.
Oh, I'm not even talking about No Man's Sky. That is very similar. But I'm talking about games that, from the get-go, are saying, look, we're empty as hell. Play around in our sandbox for a little bit, and we'll get you some sand toys later on in the future, as long as you stay with us and give us your money.
Oh, DayZ.
Fortnite.
It's basically the AAA version of early access.
Ooh, Fortnite was also one of these as well.
Yeah, no,
They really had nothing. Like, the skins were, like, pretty standard. And now, look where they got.
Yes, because originally Fortnite was like, oh, survive against zombies, but then it
Oh,
realized,
yeah, and then they made their Battle Royale.
yeah, because Player Unknowns was getting pretty
Yeah,
popular.
Player
so like,
Unknown, and before that, H1Z1.
Exactly.
yes.
Now, to get a little more specific with you, I'm not quite talking about some game where it's like Far Cry 5, where it's like, here's your game, and then also we're going to have a season pass in the future, so like buy our season pass and we'll give you stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. Far Cry 5, while not perfect, it's a game. It's a full game with stuff to do and stuff. I'm
Correct.
talking about your Anthems, your Fallout 76, your Assassin's Creed Odysseys.
Okay.
I see.
Where it's a game in name only. There's nothing to do. It's repetitive and grindy. There's no story, or if there is any story, it's convoluted and terrible.
Yeah.
Or, if in the case of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, here's DLC that you need to get to the end of the game because it's so grindy and there's nothing
here we go.
there.
Back on this again. Oh, jeez.
For
That's
my,
not fair.
One of my things I realized about Fallout 76 was that it only really provides lore about like the Appalachia area and how like apparently there's a fungus going around that creates a hive mind mentality amongst people, which is honestly weird for even Fallout standards.
It
Yeah.
is. It's so weird. Or Anthem, where you beat the entire thing. There's nothing that goes on in that story, by the way. I checked the synopsis. It's literally nothing. It's
Jeez.
sci-fi words and things where it's like, stop the apocalypse, whatever.
Stop the apocalypse, whatever.
Stop the apocalypse and you're,
Whatever.
Yeah, that's
and then
it.
at the end, it's like, by the way, we found this weird scaly thing at the end of the game. Once you beat the game, it's like, we found these weird scaly scouts scouting around. It's like, oh no, it's this ancient race that's been gone for a very long time. They're probably back. And then you cock your gun and you're like, well, better get to killing
So-
again. Roll credits.
Basically, you didn't beat the game now, did you?
No, it's not even you didn't beat the game. It's you've beaten the game and we have teased you about this thing that's coming in the future, but you have to wait.
Exactly.
This way,
Lame.
game companies can sell you full priced $60 games and season passes for all their DLC
And try to retain players.
and just retain players. It's like, if we support this game long enough, people will give us more money. And that works if you're a MOBA or if you're an MMORPG where
Yeah.
there's stuff like, there's definitely things that you can't do in one general playtime, so you need to spread this out over a little while. But it doesn't work with games that are supposed to be single player experiences. It doesn't work. You're a greedy hack.
Yeah.
Anything else?
A couple of things. They're more minor gripes. You know when you're playing an RPG and one party member dies right before a big fight is finished so they don't get any of the experience points? And you're like, well, I guess I'll start the whole boss fight over again because I only have 3 revive potions and I am not wasting it on this.
Actually, I'm not familiar with this thing because I don't really play like Actually, wait, I remember I played Pokemon quite a lot, and that was annoying. Yeah, I get that. I understand now.
When you die and they don't get experience. Or how about when there's multiple people in a party, but everyone can tell exactly who's the weakest and who's the healer, and they go for them immediately. And it's like, oh. I mean, we've all got color-coordinated outfits here, so in that case, yeah, I can totally get it. And maybe you see a stick, and you're like, okay, she doesn't have a sword, let's kill her first. How? It's so vexing.
The stick bearers are weird.
The stick
we shall
bearers
destroy them.
People with a stick are weird.
They are weird. They do not have shiny sticks like ours.
All right. Last 2. Number 1, I don't like buying online passes each month for a game just to play online, but also my PC is really garbage, and I can't play online games there either because the graphics are slow and my connection isn't that good.
Yeah.
That sounds
I know
more
the
like
deal.
a personal gripe, but yeah, I can understand.
That's
yeah.
the thing with me as well.
Yeah.
People are stuck in this limbo, and by the way, net neutrality doesn't exist anymore, so it's only going to get worse.
It doesn't?
It's gone.
Is it really?
Yeah, we have so much to worry about that this slipped under the radar.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem.
Oh, it's a huge problem.
Yes. Remember, people, Big Brother knows what's best for you.
And remember, everybody, if you don't think it can get worse, it can, and you're setting yourself up for failure. It will always get worse.
That sounds like It sounds like optimistic, but for the cynicism, honestly.
Oh, no. Yeah, it will always get worse. Be prepared. I have no expectations for people, for companies, for anything anymore because it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. You can't do it.
It just doesn't work.
It just doesn't. Oh, and the last one. You know when you're drawn to a game and then you buy it and you're like, wow, this game is really hard and I don't feel like playing it anymore. But also, I spent money on this game, so I feel like if I don't play it ever again, I am wasting my money.
I get that feeling, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
I feel like as we've gotten older, we've been drawn to games that are harder and take so much time and effort, but you just can't finish them because they're so hard. But you feel like if you don't finish them, then you've wasted your time and your money.
Yeah.
I think the one game I enjoy playing the most that has an end that's pretty hard to get to is Minecraft. I enjoy playing Minecraft a lot, honestly. It's fun.
Good for you, Paul.
I mean, yeah, Minecraft is like, it's one of those games.
Dude, Fortnite has taken the kids away from Minecraft. Therefore, Minecraft is infinitely
It's
better
actually
now.
better now, yeah. And because like I actually like played it somewhat recently with some of my friends, and it's actually kind of got me back into it. Weirdly enough, I hate saying this as an adult myself, but like I'm weirdly back into it, and I enjoy it. I quite enjoy it. I don't know. It's weird.
There's nothing dirty about playing Minecraft.
No, I know. It's just, it was always
unless
that
if you build a dirt house with the green on top, you're a pleb if you have the green on top.
I mean,
or if you install any
it
of
was
those
always-
naked mods.
Wait, moths?
Mods.
Moths? Naked moths. What, are you trying to attract some lamp?
No, but it was always that stereotype about like kids who played Minecraft. They're like literally always on there, and they're like, I don't know, like the kids on Fortnite nowadays.
Yeah.
Alright. What is next?
Oh, no.
That's it. I'm
That's
done.
it. You're done.
Fair enough.
Which is good because, oh my,
You have a headache or you're lightheaded or something?
I'm a little lightheaded. I poured a lot of energy into
Oh
that.
yeah.
Woo!
Like, that was a lot of anger. Like, not as much anger as, I guess this time I wasn't shocked by it, because the first time we did this Russell My Jimmy's thing, I was shocked by it. I didn't realize you had this much anger inside of you. But now that I know you do, it is less shocking.
Well, as long as it's
I
entertaining.
kind of almost expect it now when we come on this show.
Cool.
I always expect you to be this angry.
No, not on the show, just on the show.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta say, guys, that let me a little tuckered out.
So,
What's
is there some sort of song pun in there?
Nope.
Damn.
No, it actually doesn't. Let's just talk for one moment about the future of this show.
All right.
So, we've only got about a month left of shows, if I'm being honest with you. So,
Wow, like,
that's
weird.
It is weird, isn't it?
spooky.
Time has flown by. And, you know, I'm sure everyone here has projects and papers and stuff that they need to get done.
Correct.
Yeah.
And also me, I am preparing for the end of the month's Archon, where I'll be hosting 3 events. And for people who don't know, Archon is one of the events we have here at SUNY Oswego, where from April 26th, 5 p.m. to Sunday the 28th, 6:30 p.m., we'll be having events all day, every day.
Ooh.
And what is it about? It's about literally anything you want. Tabletop role-playing games, LARPing, board games, video games, movies, literally everything you can imagine. It's there on top of commemorative t-shirts and vendors.
I'm all about this. I didn't know about... I'm a freshman. Of course I didn't know about this.
Well,
Akron,
I'm like...
you talking about Akron?
Archon.
Akron, yeah, not Akron.
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 Dan Akron.
Agron.
Agron, the Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that.
But yeah, well, if you're interested, pre-registration is starting right now. All you have to do is go to archonoswego.org, and you'll be able to see all the events for all 7 slots, and you'll be able to sign up ahead of time for either 1 day, 2 days, all 3 days, and you'll be able to get a commemorative t-shirt. There is a bit of an entrance fee, and if you want the shirt and 3 days, the total cost is like $20-25.
Okay.
It's pretty good for all the stuff that you get, and I would definitely recommend doing it because it's a lot of fun.
All right. Could you spell that out for me, actually? Archon.
Arcon.
Okay. Okay. That's kind of what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Arcon. Oswego.
Yeah.
There we go.
But
actually
I'm going to
gonna
be
do it
busy
now.
doing that. And also I'm going to be writing papers. And also I'm going to be doing some other stuff. And if I'm not doing that, I'm probably going to be napping because I'm going to be very tired. So you know what? And between that, there isn't that much coming up that I feel like I really need to talk about. We have Avengers Endgame at the end of April.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go
and
see that.
then that's it. Not talking about Pet Sematary. I'm not talking about Shazam. I'm not talking about... That's the only 2 really.
Yeah,
like,
really.
That you only care about.
I'm not talking about Jordan Peele's Us.
Aladdin, maybe.
You're
I'm not
gonna-
talking about Aladdin
You're not
or
gonna
the
talk about-
Lion King reboot.
You're not going to talk about Breakthrough, the movie about the spiritual healer woman thing? The trailer just immediately turned me off the second I realized what it was about. I thought it was about like, oh, this is maybe a film about like someone who broke through the frozen ice of something. But then he got spirit healed.
Oh, it's one of those things where it's like a kid sees God, and then it's like, I saw God in heaven, and it's all like this. Meanwhile, it comes out a year later that it's fake.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's
I'm not
great.
I'm not saying that as a cynicist, Thomas. That actually happened.
Yeah, no, I believe you. I believe you.
Wait, are you talking about like the heaven is for real thing?
Yeah, that the movie where it's like heaven is for real, and then the producer where it says based on a true story came out and said that the results were fabricated and all of that. It's terrible. So, I think I want to do something that's slow, that doesn't require too much thought and preparation, and something that'll allow us to just chillax and hang out for an hour every Tuesday night for a couple of weeks. So, with that being said, guys, how would you feel about an on-air D&D campaign? The second annual one. But not just any D&D campaign.
Okay, interesting.
The special D&D campaign.
You had to up the level on your mic.
The ASMR D&D campaign.
Oh no, it's happening!
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I just heard myself on your mic.
I want to make it happen.
No.
Oh no, it's happening.
Are you sure? Do you want to make it happen? Listen, guys, if you're really against this idea, I won't do it.
I'm not against it, but...
I'm not against it. It's just like, It's interesting.
Yes. It could be interesting. It could be revolutionary.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Matt Mercer may make the excellent role-playing games, but he's never done anything like this before.
An ASMR one.
Yeah. And I have several ideas for the ASMR D&D campaign. Mm-hmm. We can do it just general. We could do Journey into the Crypt of the Lich King. Or we could do one where we're literally all dogs.
Oh, man, I'd love that.
Going to sniff his butt.
Roll dexterity for butt sniffing.
I will chase my own tail, knowing that it's mine.
I don't know.
You take the large battle axe in your mouth, and then you swing at other dogs.
This is making me uncomfortable now.
Other dogs.
So, is it because it's at dogs, or it's because it's just so
It's
close?
just because it's ASMR.
Okay. So, I definitely want to do that. If you're both on board, if you agree that you're on board, we'll do it. And if not, then we won't. I'll make something up.
I don't know if I'm on board.
All right, Thomas, that's fair. Because you don't want to do it, or because you're not going to be here and flake out?
No, because I just don't want to do ASMR.
Oh,
That makes me uncomfortable.
all right then. Powell,
Yes.
your
Would you like to do
opinion.
it?
My opinion.
Are you in it? Are you in for it or not?
Honestly, it does sound like fun in theory, but like, I think we probably need to make more ground rules. But other than that, like, right now, no, honestly, no. That just sounds more funny than anything.
Fair enough. We live in a democracy, and that is not what is going to happen next week.
All right.
All right.
Well, it's 10:57, so I think we're going to leave for the night. Tune in next time when we talk about what?
Beans.
Beans?
Cool
Beans.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
All right. Cool beans.
Heinz beans.
Heinz baked beans.
Heinz does make beans. All right. Well, good night, everybody. And remember, stay fantastic.